It is established that a large proportion of Africans till date rely heavily on herbal medicine, with the World Health Organization findings putting the figure at above 70%. Several researchers also show that a lot of plants and other resources domiciled in Africa contain substances that can cure many ailments. But growing the drug manufacturing industry in the continent, especially in Nigeria, has been a huge challenge, as many findings hardly get World Health Organization certification. On the spot this week, we will continue with the conversation on development of herbal medicine in Nigeria. I am Joseph Oten. Welcome to the program. My guest is a professor of drug delivery and nanomedicine. He holds a Bachelor of Pharmacy degree from Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, Master of Pharmacy and PhD from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. He started his professional research career about 20 years ago as a junior research fellow in the Department of Pharmaceutical Technology and Raw Materials Development at the National Institute for Pharmacy Research and Development, where he rose to the rank of research professor. His expertise focuses on the development of solid oral dose formulations and the physical property of polymer, and polymer drug interactions. He is a member of many national and international organizations, such as the American Society for Tropical Medicine and Hygiene, West African Health Research Network, fellow of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, and former head of Research and Development, National Institute for Pharmaceutical Research and Development, Nigeria. On the spot is the Director General and Chief Executive, Nigerian Natural Medicine Development Agency, Professor Martins Emeje. You are welcome to the program.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay. Some few days ago, I had the privilege of hosting Professor Jawa, that's from African Traditional Medicine. Now we're talking about natural medicine. What's the difference between the natural medicine and African Traditional Medicine?
Okay. Traditional medicine is traditional medicine. The reason you join Africa is because it's traditional medicine peculiar to Africa. So there's Chinese traditional medicine, there's India traditional medicine, there's America traditional medicine, there's Australia traditional medicine. So African traditional medicine is traditional medicine that is peculiar to Africa. It has cultural undertone. Natural medicine is medicine that's natural. So traditional medicine is natural medicine. But not all natural medicine is traditional medicine.
Okay, let's go back to the Nigerian Natural Medicine Development Agency. What is the scope like?
The Nigeria Natural Medicine Development Agency. You notice I have decided to say it slowly, appropriately, so that people will know when we talk about NNMDA. The abbreviation is NNMDA, or Natural Medicine Agency. You can call us Natural Medicine Agency. You can call us NNMDA if your tongue is able to carry it. You can call us Nigeria Natural Medicine Development Agency. Because some people make mistake of saying Nigeria National is not Nigeria National. Nigeria is already national. So Nigeria Natural Medicine Development Agency, NNMDA, is a, you say what is the scope like? The scope is huge, but first of all, let me tell you that it is a parastatal of the Federal Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation. And there's no agency like it anywhere in sub-Saharan Africa. So it's not. So when I say that, I don't need to say Nigeria anymore, right? Okay, so why did I say so? Because the scope is wonderful if only we do what we are supposed to do.
What are we supposed to do?
No, I will tell you scope first. Then I'll tell you what you are supposed to do. Maybe by the time I tell you the scope, you will not need to ask me, what are we supposed to do?
Okay. Well,
if you travel to Asia and you are interacting with a typical Asian, example, a Chinese or an Indian, and you want to tell them how wonderful allopathic medicine is, that is Oyibo medicine. I call it synthetic medicine. By the way, I'm a pharmacist.
yes.
Okay. And a professor of pharmacy. So when I talk about drugs, I'm talking about myself because I am drug. And you want to tell them about this Oyibo medicine. The first thing they will use to shut you up is that they will tell you that, look, our medicine, that is Chinese traditional medicine, they call it TCM, or Ayurveda, which is the Indian traditional medicine. They will tell you our medicine existed 5,000 years before Oyibo medicine ever reared its head. So what are you talking about? How did people live 5,000 years? How did people live? Go to history and see. People are even dying more now than in those days. This Natural Medicine Agency, I'm shortening it so that people can call it Natural Medicine Agency,
Yes.
an NMDA, is responsible for teaching, research, and development of traditional medicine. So my agency is responsible for harnessing all the medicinal plants, aromatic plants, pesticidal plants, all animals, all marine life, all insects. See, there is no agency in Nigeria or sub-Saharan Africa, even North Africa, that one agency has this kind of great mandate by any government. So Nigeria is a special country when it comes to the idea of creating that agency. So that is what we are supposed to do. Now, to do that, the way I told you that we are supposed to go to all the villages in Nigeria, that is in all the 774 local governments, to go and record, to go and document, to go and ensure that our traditional medical practice, services, and knowledge is properly documented, is also the same way that we are supposed to identify these specific plants and medicinal plants, aromatic plants that are peculiar to environments. Because there are some plants that are found in my village that are also not found in your own village. Okay? In fact, that is the reason why government said, and National Assembly passed a law assented by Mr. President 4 or 5 in 2019, June 2019, that look, this agency, make sure you open research centers in all parts of Nigeria so that we can study those plants.
Have you opened all the research centers in all parts of Nigeria?
We have opened 8 right now. We have 8. So we still have so many to open, and we are going to do it. I believe that the present government will make sure we do that. Because if we don't do, we will continue to struggle with health. Shebi COVID-19 came and it dealt with people, and it didn't deal with us. To be with all a sense of responsibility, based on the prediction that we were all going to die. It didn't deal with us. People don't know that it had to do with our own indigenous medicine. Did we get vaccine? People that got vaccine, didn't they die? We didn't get vaccine. We got natural vaccine from our indigenous medicine. People don't know. Okay, so we are supposed to do that. Then develop herbal medicines, what we call phytomedicines, or nutraceuticals, or dietary supplements. Today, dietary supplements in the world In fact, in your prologue, you were talking about Africa and Nigeria. No, the market for herbal medicine, dietary supplements, nutraceuticals, these are all the same thing, medicinal products. Yeah. It's over $300 billion US. So, in fact, projection is that by 2050, it will be over $5 trillion US. But we are not ready.
We are not reaping that for
yes, because it is investment. You see, you can't just say, elementary economics that we did in secondary school, they told us that you use money to make money. You don't just sit down now. You use money to make money. Government has tried and established agencies like the NNMDA. But government is not looking at it. You establish it, you employ people, you are paying salary, the things that they're supposed to do, you are not giving them the support to do. I call it low capacity utilization. My agency is suffering from LCU.
Okay, you talked
low
about
capacity utilization. Okay, not just government, even private. Please let me say this. Even private sector.
That's where I wanted to take
even private sector. Let me say it myself.
If you can't get it from the government, are you not taking it to the private sector? You talk about the things you collect.
First of all, if you give birth to your child and you are unable to train your child, you don't tell people that, if you cannot train your child, can't you carry your child to go and beg? No. You are the father. You give birth to that child. If you cannot take care of the child, you look for how to take care of the child. You don't say, oh yeah, child, go and look for how to take care of yourself. There are policies that government can just make and things will be well with us. Do you understand?
The essence government establish agencies like this.
Yes.
Is for the agencies like this to promote this sector.
Yes.
And that's why I was talking that now it's now your responsibility to now take it to the private sector.
How am I supposed to promote it?
You research, you collect all the resources, whether it's animals, plants, or insects, or whatever.
That is the issue. How do you, is it, I'm saying that you use money to make money. How do I send my researchers from Lagos? Our laboratory headquarters is in Lagos. 90% of my staff are in Lagos. I stay in Lagos right now.
Are you underfunded?
It's not even, we are not funded. It is better to say we are not funded than to say we are underfunded. Okay, because if you take salary out of it, then there is no funding. You see, when you look at the budget, then you see salary, then you now think that they are being funded. No. How do I send staff to go and stay in Kogi? Kogi has more than 20 local governments. I'm supposed to have 21 research centers in Kogi. How do I send staff to that place? That is on funding. But you make me to jump to funding when I want to talk about my scope first.
Okay, don't worry. We will continue. We'll just take a break now. We'll continue with the conversation.
Okay.
Shortly. Okay. Okay, we'll take a little break now, but we'll be back. Don't go away.
NTA News 24 has the sole mandate of bringing news to you anywhere and everywhere.
We set standards based on current broadcast realities while consolidating on a wider reach to variety of audiences.
We go beyond the screaming headlines to verify, interrogate, and accommodate all shades of opinion without prejudice to national interest.
Our well-researched, packaged, and live programs keep you abreast of events, personalities, and current affairs.
You are welcome back to On the Spot with Director General, Nigerian Natural Medicine Development Agency, Professor Martins Emeje. Now, I take you to...
Thank you. Yes.
You wanted to speak more on the scope.
Yes, on the scope, because I've only mentioned two, which is
just
traditional medicine, then research and development. Yes. And that's why I talked about medicinal plants, animals, marine life, and insects. Okay. The next thing is the teaching itself. So by the law passed by the National Assembly, we have to establish a model school of natural medicine called College of Natural Medicine, which we did, approval from Federal Minister of Education, accreditation by National Board for Technical Education, and is currently running, where we are supposed to teach these technologies to people who are interested so that we can preserve our indigenous knowledge. So you can see that our scope covers the whole spectrum of development of medicine from indigenous resources. Why is it important? You see, as a pharmacist, I tell you this: Nigeria is not producing any drug. Forget all those percentages you are reading in places. We are not producing any drug. We import active pharmaceutical ingredients into this country, 100%, including the simplest ones like paracetamol and aspirin.
That's an indictment on you as a pharmacist too.
Okay.
Just
And I'm the pharmacist and I'm saying it now. Okay. You don't expect me to do it in my house. Now, what happens when we import this powder to come and make tablet in Nigeria is that the powder, and I'm using powder now to represent all of them, that powder has been produced somewhere. Let me tell you, in case you have not heard, most of these Oyibo medicines actually have their source from plants. 20 to 40% of them have their origin from plants. All these aspirin, chloroquine, quinine that you are hearing. Today, artemisinin is the drug of choice, ACT combination for treatment of malaria. It's from plants. But that plant is first of all cultivated on the farm. It's human beings that cultivate it. People are employed to cultivate it. The process, it is not like planting yam or groundnut. There is organized method of cultivating it. It is called good agricultural practice. When you were talking about me, you were talking about my degrees. I'm also an agriculturist. Studied agriculture, Abuja Zaria. And so people are employed. Follow me. People are employed to plant, to cultivate, to weed, to maintain those plants on the farm. You see, Minister of Agriculture, harvesting the medicinal plants is also technical. It depends on what we want. Depending on the age of the plant, we harvest them to go and use it in the pharmaceutical industry. In the industry, people are employed to harvest. When it is harvested, they are transported to the warehouse and the industry where they are processed. You see Minister of Transport, you see people are employed, you see drivers, you see laborers, you see artisans, technicians. Then when they now enter into the company, they are now processed. People are employed to do extraction, purification, to do characterization before it now gets to the level that it becomes powder that will come to Nigeria. So can you now see that for every of that powder that we import, we are paying the salaries of the people who planted on the farm, who weeded, who transported, who extracted, who purified, who characterized. We pay their salaries in abroad.
You're talking about the infrastructure.
Yes.
Okay, you just made an example of agriculture.
Yes.
The Ministry of Agriculture.
Yes.
Government have, over time,
Yes.
come up with agricultural policies and
Yes.
untold that. Now, understanding this, Have you taken this idea to the Ministry of Agriculture to understand that we have to identify some certain plants, plant them so that we can build on that and develop, assess so that we have with these resources for the manufacturing industry? Have you sell that idea?
The answer,
because there need to be collaboration with agencies.
The answer is a big yes. Why do I say a big yes? I think we know what to do. I think our problem is readiness to do it. Because Ministry of Agriculture is a member, statutory member of board of my agency. Ministry of Agriculture is a statutory member of board of the Nigerian Natural Medicine Development Agency. Okay? We did 4 weeks of assuming office. I sent a proposal on this to the Nigerian Governors Forum. You know, I didn't want to jump when you were asking me what are you doing apart from government. I didn't want to jump. I wanted to come from my scope so that people will even know that this agency exists and this is what they are being created to do. Because people who don't know us, they just talk. Do you understand? Before I joined that agency, I heard a lot of stories that agency should not exist. Actually, if there's only one agency that should exist in this country, that's the only agency that should exist. And you know I'm coming from another agency. So I'm talking from point of information and knowledge right now. True. What we need is the kind of will that individuals, private companies, organizations, non-governmental organizations, faith-based organizations, and governments, the type of will that they have, and they make donations to political parties, to campaigns of individuals who are seeking elective offices, to weddings. And you have an agency that if you give 50 million naira, you will see a product that will employ 190,000 Nigerian youths. We need to start, there's a need for reorientation and rethinking. We are not thinking Nigeria. There is a need to rethink Nigeria. Rethink Nigeria. Do you see children going in drove out of Nigeria? They call it Japa, Abi? Yeah. Why didn't we Japa? Why didn't I Japa? When you were reading, talking about me, you did say that I was top graduate, best graduating student from Zaria, best graduating student from UNN. I didn't Japa. Because we had parents who told us about our country and how we should be proud about our country, who told us that our culture is the best in the world. I grew up in a village, in my father's compound, with strict understanding that no culture is better than mine.
If you are coming up, can you just give us a kind of a sample of some of those findings that you have found out, some of those things?
We have products, so we have at least 5 products that are even listed by NAFDAC.
Okay.
Yes.
Give us an insight into that.
We have product for malaria. We have product for arthritis. We have product for erectile dysfunction. We have product for hypertension. And we have product for as a vaginal wash for infections. And some of these products are already registered by, list registered by NAFDAC. But we are not the ones to go and put them in the market. Are you getting me? Because people also confuse it when they say, we have not seen what your agency is doing. Okay, who produced the COVID-19 vaccine that we all took in Nigeria? That not all, that people took in Nigeria. The AstraZeneca, what we call AstraZeneca vaccine. It's Oxford University. It's not AstraZeneca. The research was done by Oxford University. But Oxford will not go to the market. It is a company that will go to market. That's why AstraZeneca went to market with it. And AstraZeneca provided a lot of funding for it, while government of UK also provided funding. So we must coexist side by side, and we must begin to respect one another, so that what you can do, you do, what you can't do, I do, and vice versa. That's how people move forward. Not all this colonial mentality of it has to be from abroad. If it's not from abroad, it's not good.
It's all
No.
right. All right, Director General, Chief Executive, Nigerian Natural Medicine Development Agency, Professor Martins Emeje. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
It has been very informative.
Thank you for inviting me.
That's all right. Okay, that's how we'll stop for this week. See you next time. I'm Joseph Oten. Goodbye.